and welcome to Esports Chit Chat. I am Sahil, and today with us we have one of India's biggest professional FPs player, Bhavin Hellranger Kotwani. Hey Bhavin, how are you?
Hey Sahil, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
How's the COVID lockdown? The global pandemic been for you?
Well, it's been tough. I think it's been tough for everyone, but a bit easier for us gamers,
Yeah.
we get to sit home and chill and play. But that being said, it's a major cause of concern, and I think it subsides hopefully, and we get all back to normal life very soon.
Well, we all pray for the best, which is happening. The vaccination has started now, and we hope we are going to see LAN events soon.
Yeah.
So, 2020 has brought a major change in many professional FPS lives all around the world. With Riot's new first person shooter, Valorant, coming into mainstream, many pros have shifted and started their new career in the game.
Hmm.
So, people are gambling their careers over a new game. Why do you think you personally quit an earlier game, which was CS:GO, which you were profound in and known for? Why do you think you shifted to CS:GO?
Well, when we were playing CS:GO, I think after the last few events which we won and we played, I saw that majority of the players had already switched to Valorant. I had also started playing Valorant, but we were just playing it for fun, just playing events, and we were already coming second even without practicing or doing anything. And at the same time, there was a lack of scrims, scrim partners. Like earlier when you used to play before the launch of Valorant and before everyone switched, we used to get, I don't know, like 70 to 80 or more scrim listings in a day. And from that to having 8 to 10 scrim listings, people barely scrimming, and it felt like the CS:GO scene in Asia or in India was gonna die. um, so that is why I was like, okay, rather than switching at the last moment when everyone has a big advantage, and there's no more CS:GO events left, or there are very far and few in between. I thought I'll just take the jump and switch to Valorant because I honestly did not think I'm gonna like the game the first time I played, but as soon as I kept on playing it, I liked it even more and more because I think it's more of a strategic heavy game. So yeah, those were the few reasons why I shifted.
Oh, very well, Bhavin. Good to know your opinion on that. And some pros also told me that it was getting very repetitive. The roster shuffle in India. इधर pros दो उठा के उस टीम में जा रहे हैं, उस pro के दो उठा के इस टीम में जा रहे हैं. So that also मतलब वो काफी repetitive हो गया था
Well, वो
scenario. So
करने वाले लोग तो अभी भी करते हैं, so that there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah.
right. So how is this new experience with altogether a new FPS?
It's been good actually. I like the game even more. Um, like I think I play better in Valorant as compared to in CS. That is just my personal opinion because I think it's a bit more strategic, and even on the aim department, I think I'm a bit better in this game. So overall, I enjoy the game quite a lot, and it's been a fun ride till now. But waiting to go to our boot camp and then maybe win a few more trophies now.
Very well. Coming talking about the boot camp, I was going to talk about the global esports current roster. You have Rossi, you, which is Hellranger, Kappa,
Mhm.
Lightning Fast, and Skills.
Yeah.
How did this roster come along?
Well, actually, I was still playing CS:GO when Rossi messaged me, whether he wanted to make a Valorant roster. Um, like whether I wanted to switch to Valorant full time, that he and Skills wanted to switch to Valorant. So I was like, not right now, I'm not sure. You're still playing with God Squad for fun. And then I think Rexy got an offer from an org, and he uh, also was joining. I think at the time it was Noble, or I'm not sure which other org it was. And then
Yes.
so I was also like, I also decided to take the plunge and go full time into Valorant. And then I messaged Rossi and I'm like, okay, do you wanna play? So then me, SK Rossi, Skills, and Kappa was already there with me from God Squad. So Kappa
Yeah.
V4 got finalized, and the fifth was Hellfighter at the time. He was with us from God Squad itself and from Global Esports as a CSGO player as well at the
Yeah.
time. And then that is how that lineup was made. And once once Sagnik decided to go ahead and join Team Mahi, we tried a few players out, to fulfill the sentinel role. And although honestly we didn't find anyone to fit that barrier or fit that mark of playing a sentinel, we liked Lightning Fast as a teammate, and we liked his work ethic, and we liked how he played. So the sentinel role we thought was something he can groom into. Like if given a couple of months, he can make that role his own. And so we decided to take him on board, and yeah, that is how this roster was made.
Oh, very well, very well. About global, you've been in this organization, I guess, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
How is this organization like? I mean, everybody is so fun and loving. I mean, we see content from the content house, the guild house, as it's called. If the management is also very social, how's your journey been in this organization altogether?
Well, the journey's been good actually, for the most part of the 2 years, I think they've treated me like a family, and it's been a good road. Um, Obviously, there are a few hiccups like in everything, but I think for most of the part they try to take care of their players as much as they can. So I really enjoyed my time here, and I'm still hoping to continue and do the same.
Wow, wonderful. Uh, Nextly, I like to ask that you had a possession, two priceless possessions in the CS:GO worlds of India, and when everybody shifted to Valorant, most of the tier one pros, you had Helif and DM, Helif and Deathmaker.
Yeah.
You let two of those gems go out of your hand. How? Matlab, when you were shifting to Valorant?
Well, with regards to DM, when we shifted to Valorant, he did not want to switch to Valorant full time. He was going to play CS:GO for another team. So we respected his decision, and by the time he wanted to switch, we already were a five-man roster and practicing and playing events. So it, at that time, it's a bit hard to remove anyone. We did not want to do that without any cause. So I think he got an offer from Godlike, and yeah, that is why I decided to go. So there's nothing we could do about that. And with regards to Hellfighter, it's not about him, us leaving him or us removing him. He just signed a new contract with the team, and then he decided to go ahead and ignore the contract and join another squad. So that was his decision, and we did not want to. I think the organization did not want to force anyone on contractual bounds, and just because you had signed a contract to stay, because if
Yeah.
the player actually does not want to play, then there's no point in forcing him. So
Yes.
that was his decision to leave right after he signed a new contract. So that is something I don't get, but it's up to him. There's nothing we can do about the same.
Yeah, people change their minds, but he's doing really well, and we are happy for that over there also.
Yeah, for sure. If he's doing well, I'm happy for him, and not happy at the same time because it's my job to take him down, and his team taking him down. So yeah.
Wow, there's some love and competition at the same time here for ex teammates. Yeah, most of you have been teammates, right? You and Anuj, you and Kali. You've been teammates at some point in time.
Yeah.
You and Simar also. Yeah. So that's the competition and love at the same time.
Yeah, it's love outside the game and competition inside the game.
Good to know. Good to know. So I'm going to talk about this strategy or this phenomena I call boomers and zoomers in Valorant.
Okay.
So I mean, I see this as a pattern, like two very experienced players
Mm-hmm.
and three young aimers in a team.
Okay.
Like 100T has this kind of lineup, and TSM has this kind of lineup. You have this kind of lineup. Somewhat T Mahi has this kind of life, and like you are making it, like you are winning tournaments, you are having good games, you have that experience to back it up. What do you think about this? I mean, two experienced players like you and Kappa in this team for say.
Well, I don't think that is something we had planned, like we'll take two experienced players and three youngsters. It is something that kind of just came into its own actually, Yeah, well, I think none of the teams might have planned that. Well, maybe
Yeah,
apart from Actually, I don't think any team will plan that ever. But yeah, but
Yeah,
it's fun to know, when you think about it, it's like
you
almost
get my point,
everyone.
right?
Yeah, I do get your point. Almost everyone does have the same thing. But I don't think any team planned it like that. Okay, you'll take two boomers and three zoomers. But I think it eventually turned out that way. And hey, if it's the right way to go, if it's the right way to go, why not? If people are winning championships with that, so maybe that's the formula to follow.
I mean, that experience counts as well, right?
Yeah,
The boomers are important.
of course. If you see
And
boomers are the IGL in all those teams. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not calling you boomer per se, but you get my point. The experience is
Yes, well,
calling
I,
you
I,
boomer.
I am technically just 23 years old and
Yeah.
I still have played for the better part of 8 years, so I know where you're coming from. Yeah,
No offense, Hellranger, but you get my point.
yeah, I do, I do.
So I'm going to talk about like the strategic changes in CS, and the strategic changes in this game are very devastating. I mean, we have seen not even a year of this game, and so many things are evolving in the meta. It's changing every fortnight or so, a month or so. Every tournament we are seeing different agent pools, different characters, different metas, and different continents. Like NA has the different meta, Europe has a different meta. They are playing Sage, they are playing Sky. It's really messed up right now. How do you where's what is the global esports as as a Valorant roster in there? How they are helping to change the meta, and what's their own meta per se, and they what do they inspire the meta from?
Well, firstly, the meta in Valorant changes constantly because of new agents getting added and some agents getting a buff or some agents getting nerfed.
Yeah,
And also in, I think the stylistic difference in play style, per se. There's a saying we have in our team that you can play with any agents as long as you know how to play every scenario with those agents, right? As long
yeah,
as you can play multiple scenarios with any set lineup, like maybe you can take four duelists and a smoke agent and still play and win the game, as long as you know and as long as you're aware of how you can play, right? So that is something we say within our teams. And with regards to global esports defining the meta, I don't think we are defining the meta yet. I think um we have a few own stuff, but at the same time we are also learning the game and evolving as it grows. Hopefully when we start our journey at the boot camp, we have a few things already planned out. We have a few agent compositions we'd like to try and practice. So maybe we'll define the meta then. But at this moment, I don't think we are defining the meta. I don't want to say we are not following it. We all are aware of how things are going in different parts of the world. But at the same time, we don't want to lose our own stylistic difference. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I mean, one individual start that I'm a fan of, that I told you before we started recording the podcast also, that the breach top mid push on Ascent with the jet,
Yeah,
with the flashes.
yeah.
I mean, that was very. I mean, you used to do that in almost every best of three.
Yeah, well, that is something to be honest, we saw that from Vision Strikers, a team from Korea.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw that, and that is something I instantly liked, and I told the boys, that is something we can do. And but apart from that, any other breach in jet play, that is something we made up on our own, or that was something which is situational. So that is something we used for the longest time, a breach and jet combination. But then teams started getting used to it, and we needed to adapt, so we changed. And as soon as we did that, it started giving us results as well, which
Yeah.
does not mean that we are never going to go back to the breach and jet combination. We are just trying something out for right now, and we need a few combinations in hand to play the game, basically. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was going to talk about. That instead of breach and jet, now there is sage and omen sometimes, I guess.
yeah. There's Sage, there's Sage, Raze, and Omen. Something we are trying out different stuff basically right now. We are trying out different combinations and you know, um, basically play the best against the best team we are going to face.
What is your personal agent pool per se? What are your best agents?
So I'd say my best agents are Omen, Breach, Phoenix, Brim. Um, I also play, like, these are the four agents which I generally play in competitive matches. But I also play Cypher, Killjoy, Sage, Reyna.
I mean,
Uh,
you play all of them then.
no, I don't play Jet. I don't play Race.
So
Uh,
you don't play duelist as much, right?
yeah, I don't, but I do play it in matches basically.
Okay.
Not like I play Phoenix in Haven, and in competitive I do play Duelist. I play Phoenix and Reyna a lot.
Yeah,
Reyna is something I've been spamming in competitive right now, trying to just see
yeah,
how
yeah.
it.
In pucks you can play.
Yeah. So yeah, competitive rank games. I mean, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I
So
don't, people don't confuse it with actual competitive.
no, 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 no. So actual matches, I just play Phoenix, and I'm just trying out Reyna for some fun, and yeah, but like I play most of the agents
In
there are there.
tourneys, you play controllers, right? Like,
Yeah, in tournaments I mostly play controllers or initiators for most of the parts.
yeah, yeah. Because that's a big shift from like you playing breach omen and like but for Rossi it's a big shift क्योंकि वो बंदा like he goes down on bind B पे B long पे pick लेके one initial pick लेके defense की बात कर रहा हूँ
Huh.
defense में B long पे जाके एक pick ले लिया shower A पे जाके एक pick ले लिया I mean it's his impact is lot on the game
Yeah.
him shifting to a duelist is that taking a toll on your round control
You
per
mean
se
him shifting to a sentinel?
yeah I'm sorry to a sentinel
Yeah.
because he's playing sage right now
Yeah. See again, I told you right. We think that you can play with any agents as long as you know how to play the game, right? So
yeah
when we shifted him to Sage for a few maps, uh, something I knew that we had to change our play style because you cannot do the same things you could do with a breach and jet, for example. So we were instantly self-aware, that we cannot do the same things. Yes, it did change the tempo, but again, it's something different and a different play style from what teams are used to playing against us. So I think that helped us as well. Right now, still, it's not a fixed lineup that we're playing. We're still trying out that combination, but I think he's comfortable on Sage from what I've seen right now. Of course, he misses his mobility, where with the jet he could just dash off.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then that is
that's what I
something,
was talking about.
yeah. But that's something he can. He's a smart player. That's something I think he knows, and he's ready to sacrifice that for the betterment of the team.
And I was a bit worried about him because quite a couple of times I've seen him whiff the walls on pugs. So I was like, please don't do this in tournaments.
And in Pug, he's like, I'm trying out some insane walls. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to see this. In tournaments, obviously, he's going to do a set number of walls which are useful, but in Pugs, he tries out this random shit, and I don't know, man. It works out for him sometimes in the Pugs, and he's like, see, it worked out. I'm like, dude, it's not going to work out in a match, so
I
don't
mean,
do that.
that guy grinds in ranked as well, man. He's a radiant in every act. He grinds.
Yeah, well, yeah, he is a grind. He plays the game, I think, most out of any player I've ever seen. Like, he's there at it all the time. Like, we finish practice. Let's say we finish practice at 10:30, and then you'll see him streaming at 11. I'm like, dude, I cannot do that. That's impossible.
Yeah.
I'll also play, but I need that 2 hours to myself. I'll finish at 10:30. I'll go for a walk. I'll have my dinner, and then I'll sit at 12:30, and I'll stream and play some rank games. But he is just like a machine. He finishes at 10:30. He'll eat his dinner. He start at 11. He'll keep playing till 5, 6, and then again he'll start off the next day. So yeah, that is something that is very commendable of him.
Wow. Very energetic new chap.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very like to watch his game also. He is a very talented individual.
Yeah, he is for sure.
Enough about Rossi. We're going to talk about the Phantom and the Vandal, the two assault rifles in the game.
Yeah.
And you seem to disagree with the majority of the pros who use Phantom, and you're a Vandal main player.
Well, just because majority of the players use it does not make it right.
But I
But
mean,
see, honestly, I am more of a tap or a burst player, right? So I prefer the
yeah,
Vandal because it gives me that accuracy and that one bullet headshot, right? So I feel that I feel it's stronger per se. I like that one bullet headshot thing. It's a
yeah,
funny thing because when I used to play Counter Strike, I used to prefer the M4 more over the AK. But here, I don't know. I just like the Vandal more because see if they did not increase the fire rate of the Vandal, I would never use a Vandal. Since the time they increased the fire rate, I think that is the time when I tried using it and then I never went back. I still use Phantom sometimes, when I'm playing a close range combat or when I'm unable to hit my shots, right? When you have when my aim is crisp, when I'm feeling it with, that I can hit all the headshots, I'll play with the Vandal any day. But when I'm not feeling that crisp, I'll go for the Phantom and just spray and try to get a few kills off, basically.
I think that's the same with most of the pros. It's about the aim that day.
Yeah, well, for me, it's about the feel of the mouse. To me, my the entire aim for me is based on how I'm feeling the mouse right now. If I feel it's in my control, then there's nothing like it. But there are days you have where you don't feel like you are able to control the mouse. That is the time when it's it's easier to spray and pray with the phantom.
I mean, it's crazy. I saw you won a whole map and you were using Vandal, and I was like, how is this guy shooting on split? I mean, you're winning close fights as well,
Yeah,
and those guys had Phantoms. I don't remember the match exactly, but that was crazy, man. I mean, you're a good aimer in that sense for using a Vandal in a actual tourney. Get my point, I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah. I do. But like, I know there is a thing where people think that Vandal is bad for the close range. See, it's not as good as a Phantom if you are spraying, but if you can precisely aim and get those flicks off or get those headshots off, it's still a pretty good weapon.
Yes, yes, I'll agree that. I'll agree to that. If you, it's about hitting the head.
Yeah.
If you have a Vandal. But if you are like a guy is jiggling and then that's really difficult.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to kill a jiggling guy with any weapon for that matter if he's
I mean,
jiggling properly. Yeah.
Phantom, you can tap 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 tap. I mean, he comes, you can spray at that time.
No, you can do the same with the Vandal. See, we'll be arguing on it for a long time because you are a Phantom
Okay.
admirer and I prefer a Vandal, so that is something we need to agree that are just stylistic
Yeah,
difference. That's all.
exactly. Let's agree to disagree then.
Yeah.
I mean, the statistical better gun we know what is.
Yeah, Vandal, of course.
Oh my God, nobody said that.
And one headshot, it's a kill. For Phantom, you need two bullets. So
Oh my God.
statistically, that's the only statistic I'm looking at right now.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it, maybe on your stream sometime. Uh, the last question for the day I have for you is Valorant esport ready? I asked the same question to some other pros and they said, why not? What do you think about it?
Yeah, well, I think so it is. Like when it came out, it did not seem like it. Even right now, I think it is ready kind of. We have 5 maps, we have a wide enough agent pool. So I think right now it is esports ready, and I think it'll just keep getting better as the time goes by. It's still a new game according to me, and it still has a long way to go. But let's say maybe in the next 6 months, I don't think there'll be another game like it. I think it'll be one of the best games to play in an esports environment. Apart from CS, of course, which I still feel it's still a top game.
Everybody loves CS, but they had to switch. I don't know. Why does it feel like this?
No, no, I prefer I prefer Valorant right now, to be honest.
Okay. As professional also or casually also? Both of them?
No, I'll say like Valorant is more fun to play professionally for me because I think it's more dependent on strategies and you can have a lot more brain game.
Yeah.
And CS was a lot more like CS was more fun to play with friends, just trolling around and playing a random game. So yeah, maybe I'll say CS casually, but Valorant professionally.
Very well, very well. Anything you'd like to add at the end for the people who are watching, your admirers, my viewers?
Well, for everyone who's watching this, firstly do follow Weird Side on his YouTube channel, and I think he's doing some great interviews. I think he has some more lined up in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So do subscribe for some amazing content, and at the same time, do subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, Official Hellranger. I stream there daily, and I also have a guide series. That is something I just wanted to mention really quickly. I also have a guide series where I put out my thoughts on different topics and make various guides on them. So do give it a look if you are an upcoming Valorant player or if you want to pursue Valorant. And also, I'm sending you lots of love and thank you for all the support for those people who are following me, and send some love to Sahil as well. I think that's about it.
Thank you so much, Rangers, for those kind words, and I hope we hop on the server to know which is the better gun sometime.
For sure, man, for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.